So, for those who haven't been up to date with what's been going on in the Mario Kart World scene, let me recap real quick. Nintendo recently pushed a patch for Mario Kart World that basically removed the ability to play normal online races without the widely disliked intermission/route segments. Basically, you were once able to select random when voting for a course, and when you selected random, it would pick a random track from around the entire map. And if a track was picked that was not nearby to the previous track you played, it would give you a standard 3-lap race. But it was updated so now the random option only picks one of the 3 races around you. Thus, the intermission segments are now practically forced in online races with randoms. And this killed the game for a lot of people, because a lot of people don't like driving in a straight line for most of the race. They just like playing the courses. Imagine that. So now, standard race lobbies don't even fill up, and it takes up to 6 to 7 minutes to just join a race. And even though the original random selection might have been a development oversight, this caused the majority of the player base that Mario Kart World once had to leave. So, how can Nintendo fix this issue? Well, I have thought of a few possible fixes that Nintendo could implement to give people the 3-lap races they desire. The first fix is to implement how friend lobbies operate into the basic matchmaking. Friend lobbies work way differently than how normal lobbies work. Most notably, in a friend lobby, you can vote for any course, even if they're far away from your current location. And you're also able to disable the intermission segments by selecting a course twice without picking a second destination. This lets you play the 3-lap races. So while it might not be possible to incorporate the amount of customization that friend lobbies have, I don't see why they can't let people pick any course they want. I never really understood the idea behind the 3 option setup that they've been going with since Mario Kart 8, but at least in that game, it was better because there were no intermissions. Fix number 2 is what I would love to see personally. Add a quote-unquote classic mode to the game, where you can just pick a race and play it for 3 laps. I'm honestly shocked that there isn't something like this already in the game. It seems like a no-brainer. I understand wanting to push the new open world gimmick, but if people don't like it, why not give them an option to experience the courses like a traditional Mario Kart game? There would be no need to figure out how to mess with the intermissions through a normal versus or online race. It would be a separate mode that would be easy to grasp for everybody. And you could also make a classic Grand Prix mode for single player. Not only would that give more appeal to the game, it would also give people something else to try out if they've already beaten all of the Grand Prix and the knockout tours. You could even go as far as adding in an option to limit the number of racers to 12, because in my opinion, 24 racers is only really fun in Knockout Tour. In standard races, it's just a cool novelty and doesn't really affect the game in any way. So yeah, classic mode. Do it. But if Nintendo doesn't want to do any of that, because let's be real, I highly doubt they do, just simply roll back the update and revert the random option to how it was originally. Even if it was originally a development oversight, why not just call it a happy accident and keep it in the game? Because here's the reality. Online races are dead. The game is only a month old and we're already at a point where you can't even play a race in a full lobby. It's gotten to a point where I've seen some people just say f it and go back to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That should not be happening. So, will Nintendo do any of this? Well, if they want their game to have a consistent player base, then yeah, I hope so. I've seen a lot of people bring up the fact that Nintendo never listens to fan feedback for this sort of thing, and that the choices they make are final. But that's not the case. Remember Super Mario Maker 2? I know that game is, 6 years old at this point? Good God. But when the game was first released, you were not able to create online rooms with your friends. You were forced to play with randoms if you wanted to play online. This was done so it wouldn't be possible to exploit the leaderboards. And obviously, people were very mad at this because why on earth would it not be possible to just disable the leaderboards when playing with friends? But guess what? Instead of doubling down on their decision, Nintendo assured everyone that friend lobbies would be added in a future update. And what do you know? They added friend lobbies in a patch a few months after launch. They did it once, why can't they do it again? I'm sure Nintendo has plans with Mario Kart World, maybe DLC or something similar. But in my opinion, if you want to revive that core player base, then I think doing something like one of these 3 fixes would be a great decision. But let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments down below. And do you think Nintendo will implement a fix for this issue? That's all for me. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye.